Limitless Nation, today you're intrigued to learn from Edmund Loh. Edmund Loh is the founder of the Musemancer, which is the digital marketing, which is an internet marketing consulting and digital publishing company. Edmund is a co-author of the national best-selling book, The Secret of Millionaire Students, and an author of Crushing It. Edmund has appeared in many different media, including The Star, Malaysian Today, and IncomeDiary. And Edmund is also known as one of the top Malaysian marketers. Today we have the privilege to have him to show you on what you need to do to live a limitless life. So let's get into it. Before you dive into today's masterclass, I want to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. It allows you to receive notification every single time we provide you with new video, new masterclass, new series on showing you how to live a limitless life. And if you want to go deeper on learning what you can do to live a limitless life from today's forward, make sure you download my new ebook for free called The Limitless Mindset at mylimitlessgift.com. It will show you exactly what you can do to live a limitless life from today's forward. Plus, I'm going to show you tips and secrets on what you can do on an ongoing basis. Now, let's dive into today's masterclass.
Thanks, Henry. The honor is mine. So, hello everyone, members of the Limitless Nation. My name is Edmund. And in a nutshell, I am what you call an internet marketer and online entrepreneur. And it's something I've been doing as a business for the last several years since 2005. So I major a lot in digital publishing where I create, launch, and market information products and software.
That's very nice. We, in the Limitless family, we like to start with a quote first. Okay, that's what we usually do. So Edmund, why don't you tell the audience about the quote or a mantra that you abide with?
Now, I know you've given me quite a heads up before this. Here's the thing, I live by quite a lot of quotes actually. I don't even know which one to pick one, but maybe what I feel strongly right now, if I could just sum it up in a very nice way, winners do whatever it takes. And that's something I really, really believe in.
Winner do whatever it takes. Is that the quote from you, Edmund Loh?
Well, I know it's not original, but I'm very sure that I'm not the first one to think about it. And I think that all the successful people that you and I know today, they could say the same thing, because a lot of people, I don't know about you or some of the people who are listening on this call, you might hear of friends or family members who told you they've done their best. And to me, that's just a very poor consolation. And the reason why I say this is a less harsh version is because I heard this originally in a way from a show called The Rock, 1996, starring Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, where Nicolas Cage's character was telling Sean Connery's character, you know, I'll try my best. And Sean Connery paraphrased, he said along the lines of, losers whine about doing their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. But of course, I'm not going to actually say that. I think winners do whatever it takes.
That's very awesome. So tell us a little bit about your setback. I know you wasn't successful like 20 years ago. You didn't have the silver plate with you. Am I right?
Right, because 20 years ago, I was still in school.
And give us your experience when you were working as a office boy.
Right, okay. Perhaps that's the best place to start, Henry. Right after high school. So at that point in time, I was 18 years ago. So it felt like almost half a lifetime ago. And what happened back then was that basically I'm a product of a single parent. I was raised by my mom after the divorce between my dad and my mom, that is. And so my father got out of the picture. So at one point in time, my mother, my younger sister and I, we found ourselves in London. And bear in mind, we're Malaysians, by the way. All right. We found ourselves in a very different country with no plan whatsoever. And for a very brief moment, I worked there illegally. So you can say I did this kind of thing before the Syrians or the latest refugees made it cool. All right. So this was 2003. And that lasted for a while. I came back to Malaysia after finding out that things didn't work out. My mother had basically no plan after the divorce, and they were all in depression. I'm not going to say I was exactly in the brightest mood as well. I was very rebellious. I was really angry at life and really angry with people around me, and I was so ashamed of my predicaments that my high school friends had almost no idea what happened to me or what became of me. I would only reconnect with them many years later. So right after that, I finished my high school with a few months to spare. And right after that, I went out to get my first and what would become my last full-time job. So obviously, with someone with not much going on in life at the time, I settled for whatever job came my way. So it came in the form of a clerical job or an office boy's job. And this lasted for a year. I worked under a boss that I didn't look up to and I didn't respect. And even I'm saying the same thing even after many years later. So that says a lot about his leadership. And I was in a company of colleagues that were very negative. And it's a very depressed, very negative environment. And I wasn't earning a lot, that's for sure. I was just earning peanuts even by Malaysian standards. And I knew that I would have no future working for someone else. And there's just no chance for my mom to get a job, and my sister was still schooling because she's 2 years younger than me. So I knew that I didn't have a lot of time, and the only way out was to start a business of some kind. So I tried many things and some crazy ideas back then, ranging from selling Magic the Gathering cards, tried to teach break dancing to uni students at the time on weekends, and I even did multi-level marketing, or MLM in short, which I found out it was just not for me, and things didn't work out as well. Burned a lot of bridges over there and lost some money, whatever little I had. And then eventually I would settle in my niche, which is to start an internet business. But bear in mind, 2004 to 2005, it was a very different time, at least in Malaysia. If you say make money online at the time, people think it's a scam because it hasn't caught public imagination back then. But today, you mentioned about starting an internet business or a startup. Well, it is a more celebrated and a more well-received idea today. So yeah, that was how I got my start.
So let me ask you this: like we have met in person. We met in California at that time, and I could consider you as one of the person that, even though you have relatively successful, you still have this mindset of saying that, I'm just gonna go all the way. What is that aha moment that you experience to say, I'm going to have the limitless mindset compared to other people when they achieve their success already? They still like, I'm just going to slow down. I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy my life. But you are different. Even though you are already on this level itself, you're just going to keep going, keep pushing, keep going, keep pushing.
Right. Henry, I feel that the questions you have asked me here, it's a very, the timing is very impeccable. You could have asked at a much better time. And I'll tell you why what you asked me is a very vindicated idea. And here's why. You and I have done business together as internet marketers, and we had a really good time in California. We went from LA to Santa Barbara to San Francisco. You and I had a really good road trip together at 5 days. I still remember it as if it's just not long ago. Which I hope we could do it again very soon, one of these days. We will. All right. To everyone else who's listening in on this Limitless Nation members, I want to tell you why this is a really, really fantastic question. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not speaking from a position of modesty or trying to be humble. The thing is that even though, yes, maybe if you compare me today to many years ago, obviously, if you asked me back then, I'd say that Edmund Loh today would be a very successful individual. But however, I am also find that mediocrity is my enemy, and I don't want to be just good. All right, I want to be great. And but of course, I don't just tell people or tell my casual friends that way, because they might think, is this guy trying to be a wannabe or things like that. And there's been cases of people who just talk and they don't walk the action. So I prefer my action to speak louder than words. All right. But here's what's really disturbing. It's happening even right now as of the time of this interview. And I guess it will always happen. All right. You see, like right now, I'm experiencing frustrations, disbelief with a lot of my existing colleagues in this business. Don't get me wrong. I think that they are successful and they are knowledgeable in their own rights, and respect should be accorded. But the thing is that I find that a lot of them has stopped evolving and they stopped growing. I might want to do a video about this one of these days as well, but not right now. Just do it for you guys. I want to tell you where I'm heading to so that you don't have to wait for me to get there. And only I tell you, and we're losing a lot of precious time that way. So I want to let you know where I'm at right now and where I'm heading to. Here's the thing though, the way I see is that a lot of people, once they achieve some success, they kind of stop there. And that's what's happening in the internet marketing niche right now. A lot of people are happy with low to maybe mid six figures. And don't get me wrong, there's still quite good money when you compare to most people who have nothing at all. But I think complacency is a silent killer in itself. It's probably the cancer of success, if I can call it that way. And a lot of the people that I worked with right now, they have stopped innovating, they stopped thinking creatively. And that hurts me as a business, because I don't just make money for myself. I got to take care of my my growing team. I've got to take care of my family. And I don't want to be just content with being where I'm at right now, because there's going to be people, trust me on that, people who have started later than you and I and achieved success in a relatively shorter time as well. I'm not talking about hucksters and lucky people and things like that. But the reason they're very successful in a short period of time is because they clearly capable of leveraging momentum on their part, and they're not complacent. So to me, this is a really, really important thing. And I think the worst thing that anybody can do right now is be drowned in their own success and think that they are above learning or continued learning, basically.
I completely agree with you, because I've seen a lot of people, once they achieve a certain success, their head is much bigger than what they actually achieve. So that's definitely true. Now, Edmund, why don't you tell the Limitless Nation what you are working on right now? Hope you enjoyed the masterclass session so far. Before we get into the second half of the session itself, it is very crucial for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I really don't want you to miss out on another masterclass where I'm going to share with you what other expert celebrities, Fortune 5000 companies do to become successful and live a limitless life. So make sure you subscribe right now, and every single time we upload a new video, you will receive a notification bell. This allows you to enjoy the masterclass on the regular basis. So make sure you subscribe right now. Well, as you are ready, let's get into the second half of the masterclass session.
Question, Henry. Again, I think this whole call that you and I are doing right now, this came at a very, very nice time. So I'll tell you what I'm currently working on. It's still work in progress, but I would recommend and I advise everyone here, if you're doing an online business or a business of some kind like what Henry and I are doing, I think this is the best time to do it right now. You see, where Henry and I had come from, and actually I'm still here right now, but I'm leaving in this particular marketplace very soon, is that in this particular space in internet marketing, people are so caught up with the idea of launching shiny objects or the next big thing, right? Now, of course, I understand the importance of doing a launch. It has to have its novelty for it to be very successful. And I'm not against launches, by the way. I think done correctly, a launch can be very exciting and very profitable. But people have forgotten, or they lost that novelty of doing a launch that gets people excited, that gets people, look forward to it. And people have stopped innovating here already. It's dying. All right. I'm not just saying from a very narrow point of view. I've talked to a lot of people even before this call. I was on calls after calls after calls, or messages after messages with a lot of these online entrepreneurs, work from home people mainly. They pretty much stopped innovating a lot. And I can't allow that to happen to myself. So what I'm working on right now is that I'm working towards an evergreen marketing model, where since my team and I had created a lot of products already, we're looking towards making our offers evergreen so they don't have to be the next shiny object. Because if you think about it, I'm teaching people how to make money online as well, and they can only get as good as what I teach them. And if you think about it honestly, or if you just put your brains to work, do you really need a lot of hundreds of software in your computer to actually make money? You only need just a few good ones depending on your business model. Do you really need hundreds of products? You only need a handful of them and you're pretty much well on your way. It's just like buying food for the mind, basically. And it's better to consume what you can handle for the time being. And so if anything, I would like you to get out of this is that I want you to focus more on the evergreen marketing model. What I'm looking at in particular right now is Facebook ads. All right. Now, some people say it's always changing. It's competitive. But the way I see it is that anything that's worth making money on is always going to be competitive no matter what. But I'm telling you, this is really, really worth going into. And I'm not going to stop there. I'm looking forward to really master internet marketing as a whole, not just one small section, which is launch and maybe JVs and a little bit of email list, and that's it. which surprisingly I've been building a business around that for a long time, but it's time to take it to the next level. Dominate social media, think out of the box, do what others are not willing to do so you can get what others will not get. And that's where I'm heading to right now. If anything, whoever is listening to this call right now, that is the key to remain relevant, to dominate rather than just compete. All right? And people will need you more than you need them.
So let me ask you this, like a lot of people, the listener, the Limitless family will ask this question. Did you ever had any setback? So let's say you are kind of hitting your limit already and you said that this is it, I cannot go any further than this. Have you ever had that moment before?
Oh, definitely. It happens all the time. I mean, it will always happen. That kind of what I call the mental anxiety attack will always be there. And I think even after this call.
And how do you overcome, how did you overcome that?
I think one of the best ways to look at is to look for social proof, because here's the thing. Like as of this call right now, I had raised my personal goal, and I'm telling you, it's really, really scary for me because I've never been there before. I've not seen that kind of money before. I want to make my business, I want to generate $500,000 every month, not year or bi-monthly or anything like every year. Before this, my goal was 100K a month consistently without a launch. But I think, you know what, screw that. It's not scary enough. Actually, I've done six-figure months before at 100K a month before, and I got there with launches and happened a few times. But I want to do something that really, really challenge my limits, because I don't believe that I've seen my true potential yet as well. And I've set a scary goal, which is 500K a month. And of course, when you set that goal, I started to worry because I look at my immediate business friends. Obviously, none of them are making that kind of money, obviously, or else they wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now. But I start looking for proof of people around me or proof elsewhere. Sometimes it's out of the comfort zone. Sometimes all the answers you're looking for is outside the comfort zone. I look to them for proof and validation that if they could do it, well, so can I. And I found out something really interesting. A lot of them didn't have the kind of advantages I had when they started out as well. So 500K a month it is. And another shortcut, okay, I won't use the word shortcut, but something that can help lessen the learning curve and make it less steep is to get any of these people, pay them to be your mentor, really, because a lot of people try to be cheap, like, let me just buy you lunch and I'll pick your brains. I get that a lot of time, and I'm not saying this because I want to be snobbish or anything like that. Maybe, Henry, you know what I'm talking about here.
I can relate that to you because I had that one guy last time, like, hey, Henry, how are you doing? Can I treat you the curry chicken so I can pick your brain? I said, I can eat the curry chicken by myself. No,
yeah, exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth on that one. And here's the thing, because a lot of these guys, and I think you and I can vouch for this one, is that we went through a lot and we paid a heavy price to get to where we're at the moment, and there's going to be more to come. And in fact, as of this video that we were doing right now, I'm going through another learning curve that I've not been in a long time as well, because when it comes to like complicated technical stuff like Facebook ads, it's not one of my strongest points. In fact, I gave up on it many, many times, but I've seen a breakthrough in the last 3 months where I started to understand what was going on. There's been some results, and we're just looking to scale that even further with better understanding. But before this, my mind was snapped. I gave up on it. I had 1 or 2 accounts got banned, and then I just dropped it. I tried going for a couple of workshops. I didn't understand what was going on, and I thought, you know what, it's not for me. And this time I forced myself literally, because it's really do or die, adapt or get out of business, basically. So these are some of the things that I do to initiate a breakthrough. It's not going to be easy. I'll tell you guys that it's not easy. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this call. But what makes it less harder is that look out for social proof. Whatever you're thinking of right now, probably someone has already done it. That's number one. And another thing is that I think it's wiser and a lot more respectable that you pay someone else who's doing what you already want to do. Pay them, all right? And think of it as an investment, because you could save yourself a lot of trouble. Or let's talk about something more priceless over here. You know, when things are down and you feel like that's just no way out, a mentor, of course, provided you find the right one, a mentor can just get you out of a mental rut. Think about that.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. So can you give the Limitless family one resource that you will use it on a regular basis?
Okay, I can't think of any right now, because to be very frank, that like resource it's a very subjective thing here. Or maybe just a little bit more clarity, Henry, like what kind of resource are we looking for here?
Well, I mean, some people, they use Audible, and other persons that they use Evernote,
Oh, right. Okay, like some
Something
some
that
kind of
is
mental.
yeah, no, something that you use on the regular basis. You cannot live without while you are living a limitless life.
All right. Okay, we're thinking about more that kind of thing. I guess everybody has their own way of taking notes, but I can just think of one right off the bat right now. Surprisingly, it's a recent discovery even to me. I listen to podcasts while I'm driving because I find myself driving back and forth from work. I have an office a half an hour away from here, and depends on how fast I get to sell my house away and move closer to my office, I'll have to drive in the meantime. So I've just been listening to podcasts, and one of my favorites at the moment is Clients on Demand. It's by a guy named Russ Rufino. The podcast is free, by the way. You can just Google it. Clients on Demand podcast, and just find the first Google search. It's all free, and I think it's a really great mental barrier remover because a lot of people tend to charge their prices really low. I don't care what kind of business you're doing right now, whether you're coaching, whether you're selling information products. I find a lot of people charge really low, and including me for a long time as well. So the thing, what's stopping people from charging higher price is that they have a confidence issue. And I'll tell you that I used to have a lot of that with my prices as well. So I think Clients on Demand is a really good one.
So what book will you recommend the audience to read?
Oh, wow. That's like a lot of books here.
Just one book you think they should read for themselves.
Okay, I'll tell you what, besides my book, okay, I'll tell you one other book that left quite an impression on me after all these years. It's not those like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all those. Those are like what I call appetizers for the mind, okay? I mean, it was influential for me when I started out as a 15-year-old kid, but today times have changed. You need to have more clarity in what you read, and I believe that you need to have, you need to be told what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. And for that, I will recommend M.J. DeMarco's The Millionaire Fast Lane. You can just buy it on Amazon. So I'm going to say it again, The Millionaire Fast Lane by M.J. DeMarco.
Okay, The Millionaire Fast
Lane.
Okay.
Yeah, he tells you what you need to hear. Yeah.
That definitely will be on my bucket list as well. So I'm going to ask you one last question here, okay? Limitless Nation want to know this one particular question, which is if you were to start all over again, or maybe you were in the darkest moment when you were just a office boy and the situation you were in, what will you do differently?
Wow, okay. You know what? This is another interesting question here as well, because you caught me at a time where I'm kind of reinventing myself and my company all over again. In a funny way, Henry, this is kind of like some video games or maybe some anime or manga where they are going into like the next season or the sequel where the hero has to start all over again, or else, I mean, the hero starts off with all the properties, all the powers he or she had from the past season or the past game, then obviously it's not challenging anymore. But the only thing you have right now is the experience. So I kind of see myself as like probably a video game or a character that has the experience, but I'm starting all over again because we are in the midst of reinventing and pivoting the business model. And I'll tell you what we're doing right now. First step is, you know what? Throw all the ego out of the window right now. So whatever past success you had, they don't count for anything today. So that's something I always believe for a long time. So I don't thrive on adulations or praises easily, because I think that's what you call, I think success is a poor teacher basically, and I've learned that the hard way. So if I were to start all over again, number one, get all the ego, all the past success, all that. You know what? That doesn't matter today. All right, because we're starting all over again. So we're going to take this opportunity to reinvent ourselves to become stronger and more successful, or maybe more profitable and better versions of ourselves than we were before this. So this is a typical story of how a millionaire might have lost everything and then he gets back his millions again in a faster time than the first round he did. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, let's look at the business model. Usually when people restart all over again, there's usually a system failure or a business model failure, or it stopped working, or it doesn't work the way it did. And I'll tell you, that was what's happening to me. You got to reinvent or have a look again at the business model you're doing right now. But of course, in the meantime, you're going to need to have capital and things like that. So two ways you could go about doing it. You could either freelance, earn some cash along the way. That's totally fine. I always tell everybody, if you're short on cash right now, just do some part-time jobs or freelance jobs for other companies or other clients. And you don't need a lot of clients right now. You just need a few to get by at the moment. Just buy you a bit of time to get by and help you validate your current business model. All right, this is something I tell everybody. Okay, and then next up, of course, have a look again at your business model here and quickly validate this time around, because time is not really on your side right now, even though you might be cushioned by income that you're getting at the side, but that's a short-term goal to a long-term solution afterwards. So yeah, that's what I would tell everybody.
Wow, thank you so much, Edmund. So if any of the Limitless family wanted to reach out to you, what is the best way for them to reach out to you?
Okay, cool. Well, it's quite easy, really. You can just go to my website, edmundloh.com. I just rebuilt the site not long ago as well. You can check it on your phone. You can just go on your laptop and have a look-see. You can basically you can find a way to reach out to me on social media from the same site as well, edmundloh.com. That's my site. You can find me on Instagram. I'm active over there as well. Facebook. In fact, my fan page, I'm getting ready to put more content nowadays. So I would recommend that if you want to see what I'm up to in terms of building an evergreen business online, then I recommend that you can follow me on any of these channels, and I'll be more than happy to share with you what I find along the way as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Edmund, for your time. And for all the Limitless Nation, make sure you check out edmundloh.com. Until then, stay limitless forever. Take care now, guys.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was intense. Okay, well, that's a wrap. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the button subscribe. Okay, and if you want to go deeper on learning how to have a limitless mindset, make sure you download my new ebook, The Limitless Mindset, for free at mylimitlessgift.com. It will show you how you can live a limitless life from today's forward. Plus, I'm going to share with you tips and secrets on what you can do on an ongoing basis. Until then, stay limitless forever.